the power that's being given to Olympic symbols like the torch. The dialogue is seemingly what's happening now with Chinese officials willing to talk to representatives of the Dalai Lama. It's inevitable that people's political opinions, people's personal beliefs clash when there's a nationalism leveling event like the Olympics, where it's so much emphasizes the human spirit. But I think wonderful things are happening. I know the hearts and minds of the Chinese people, the citizens, who are ultimately the ones that are going to put on the games, has been affected positively by the Olympic spirit. And I think enormous unity will emerge from the games, as they always do, and some of the other Olympic symbols hopefully will be given even more force during the games.
Now, you've seen the Olympics as they played out more than once for sure, and there is a sense, anyone that goes there can feel it among the athletes in particular, but also anybody that witnesses the games. There's just some kind of a change that takes place. How do you explain it?
It's inexplicable. I mean, it's about excellence in the human spirit. My most memorable event in my Olympic career came at my last Olympic Games, which coincidentally were in Nagano 10 years ago exactly. And it was the closing ceremony. The opening ceremony, of course, where athletes come in behind their national flags, separated, segregated, and then they compete together for 2 weeks. And then at the end, you have this wonderful inclusive ceremony, the closing ceremony, where there's no national flags. All the athletes parade in behind one Olympic flag. That was the most moving experience that I had during the whole games. And interestingly, that ceremony, that inclusive closing ceremony, was suggested by a 17-year-old Chinese boy during the Melbourne Games, who wrote to the Olympic Committee in Melbourne and said, the Olympic spirit, if it's going to be what it says it is, the closing ceremony should show the unity that's occurred over the last 2 weeks.
You know, you work all the time with inner city young people and their families, trying to instill, well, a bit of Olympism in all of our lives. Why?
Well, it's about setting goals. I'm a former Olympic athlete, a 3-time Olympic athlete, but in many ways I'm still striving to become an Olympian as far as squaring all my conduct, my actions, my values, my moods with Olympism, with the highest principles of the Charter. And it's a very, very difficult road, but in that process you cultivate a lot of self-discipline, you cultivate patience, tools, skills that can serve anyone in the course of a lifetime.
Just very briefly, as we wrap all of this up, a lot of people are predicting these protests are going to go on right through the Olympic Games. What message would you have for those that want to protest and for the people hosting them?
A simple message, and it's relevant to the Olympic flame itself. Don't curse the darkness, turn on the light. Let your actions be a beacon for the world that you want to see. It's very easy to demonize, very easy to blame, very easy to antagonize, but of course that runs counter to the Olympic spirit and rarely, if ever, will achieve the ends that are consistent with justice.